Good morning, students. So today we have to study about the relationship between the valency of elements and periodic table. Okay. Now next we have to see, here is a list of the elements with its symbol and the valency. Okay. So hydrogen, symbol of hydrogen is H and its valency is 1. Symbol of helium is He and its valency is 0. You know why it is 0? Because its outermost shell is filled, so it will not require any electron from any other element. And helium is the only duplet element. Okay. Then helium is the member of noble elements or noble gases or inert elements. Next is lithium. Atomic number of lithium is 3. So in the first cell it will have 2 electrons and in the second cell it will have 1 electron. So it will have valency 1. So it will give 1 electron. Beryllium, its atomic number is 4. So in the first cell 2 electron will be there and in the second cell 2 electron will be there. So 2 and 2. So its valency will be 2. So by giving 2 electrons it will get a fulfill duplet just like helium. Now you know the elements are either losing electrons or gaining electrons or sharing electrons. What is the reason behind it? The elements are losing electrons, gaining electrons or sharing electrons. When the elements are losing electrons, they will get a positive charge over it and they will form cation. When the elements are gaining electron, they will get a negative charge over it and then it will be known as anion. And the elements which will share the electron, they may get the positive or negative charge over it. Okay. The reason behind the losing of the electron or gaining of the electron or sharing of the electron is just to get the electronic configuration nearest to their inert element or noble element. So wherever you are observing 0, these elements are the noble elements. So electronic configuration of helium's atomic number is 2. So it will have 2 electrons. So in the first cell it will have 2 electrons. In the earlier classes also I have discussed that electrons are arranged in the cells and subcells, and this arrangement of electrons is known as electronic configuration. In the first cell 2 electrons, that is the K cell, 2 electrons can be kept. In the L cell 8 electrons can be kept. In the M cell also 8 electrons can be kept. In the N cell 18 electrons can be kept. So just like the rooms are having the capacity, the cells are also having the capacity to keep the electrons. And the number of atomic number is equal to the number of electron or to the number of proton. Okay. So that is why you must keep in mind. Then boron, atomic number of boron is 5. So when its atomic number of boron is 5, in the first cell it will have 2 electron and in the second cell it will have 3 electron. So it will give 3 electron and it will get a 3 plus charge over it. So by giving 3 electron, it is again gaining the electronic configuration nearest to it, noble element. Then carbon's atomic number is 6. So when carbon's atomic number is 6, in the first cell 2 electrons, then in the second cell 4 electrons will be there. So its valency is what? 4. Okay. Then nitrogen's atomic number is 7. When nitrogen's atomic number is 7, it will have 7 electrons. In the first cell 2 electrons and in the second cell 5 electrons. So in that situation, it will not give 5 electrons. In the previous classes also I have said that if the outermost cell is having 1, 2 or 3 electron, it will give the electrons. But when it will have 5 or 6 or 7 electrons, they will take the electrons. So the ones which is having the 5 electrons will take 3 electron and its octet will be filled. With the elements which is having 6 electrons in the outermost cell will take 2 electrons and then its octet will be filled. the elements which is having 7 electrons in the outermost shell will take 1 electron and its requirement of getting octet will be filled. Okay, so that is why the valency of nitrogen is not 5, that is 3. Okay, oxygen's atomic number is 8. So in the first cell 2 electrons, in the second cell that is 6 electrons. So how many electrons it will take to fulfill its octet requirement? That is 2. Fluorine, then fluorine's atomic number is 9. In the first cell 2 electrons and in the second cell it is having 7 electrons. So by taking 1 electron its octet will be filled. Okay. So what do you observe here? The valency is first increasing 1, 2, 3, 4 and then the valency is again decreasing 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. Understood it? So this is the elements with their atomic number. This serial number is denoting its atomic number. This is its symbol and this is its valency. Clear? Now we have to see, then again one point to remember here, the lithium is also having valency 1 and the chlorine is also having the valency 1. Then what is the difference over here? Lithium will give 1 electron whereas the chlorine will take 1 electron. When lithium is giving 1 electron it will get a positive charge. When chlorine is taking 1 electron it will get a negative charge. When lithium is giving the electron it is metal and when the chlorine is taking the electron it is non-metal. Okay, so this is the basic difference. And why do the elements lose, gain or share the electrons? Just to get the electronic configuration to the nearest noble element like helium, neon, argon. According to your syllabus up to standard 10, you must remember these 20 elements with their electronic configuration. For example, I am discussing about calcium. Its atomic number is 20. So in the first cell K, L, M and N. In the first cell 2 electrons, 8 electrons, 8 electrons, 8, 8, 16 plus 2, 18. And in the outermost cell how many electrons? 2 electrons. So if it will give 2 electrons, it will get a positive charge. Calcium will be metal and it is gaining the electronic configuration similar to argon. Okay. Now we have to see what is periodic table. So periodic table is defined as the table in which all the elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic number. Earlier, actually there are 118 elements. And to study these 118 elements with their physical properties, chemical properties and all other properties, it will be very difficult to remember. So earlier the elements, so that is why these elements should be arranged in the form of periodic table so that the study of these elements will become easy. And in this way, these 118 elements were earlier arranged on the basis of their similar physical and similar chemical properties. But this was making this table more complex and the elements were not appropriately arranged or organized in the proper form. So that is why the most fundamental property of any element is its atomic number, because each element will have its own specific atomic number. Okay, so that is why the elements are arranged on the basis of their increasing atomic number, and atomic number is the most fundamental property of an element. So when the elements are arranged in order of their increasing atomic number, it is known as periodic table. So modern periodic table, in the modern periodic table which is described by Moseley, he has arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic number. In other words, it classifies all the elements according to their properties, so that the elements with the similar properties are placed together in the same group, while the elements with the different properties are separated from each other. Now we have to see the periodic table. You see here the periodic table, 1 to 18 groups are there, okay, and 7 periods are there. So horizontally it is known as periods, and vertical columns is known as groups, okay. So vertical columns are groups, horizontal rows are periods. So there are 7 periods and there are 18 groups, and group 18 is the noble element, okay. So the basic difference between the periods and the groups. The periods are the horizontal rows in the periodic table, whereas the groups are the vertical columns in the periodic table, okay. The number of period is 7 and the number of group is 18. Then what is the similarity? The elements in the same period will have same number of cells. Just see here. This is period, for example, this period 2. I am taking this period 2. Lithium. The atomic number is 3. So in the first cell 2 electron and in the second cell 1 electron. Beryllium 2, 4, so 2 and 2. Boron 2 and 3. Then carbon 2 and 4. Nitrogen 2 and 5. Oxygen 2 and 6. Fluorine 2 and 7. So what do you observe? How many cells they have? First cell, that is the K cell, and second cell, that is the L cell. So the number of electron cells in a period will be same, whereas in groups the elements in the same group will have same number of valence electron. For example, group 1, this is group 1. So in the group 1, all the elements will have same number of valence electrons. Like hydrogen will have 1 electron, lithium also you see here 1 electron, sodium atomic number is 11, so 2, 8 and 1. How many valence electron? 1. Okay, potassium 2, 8, 8 and 1. Okay, so in a group the elements will have same number of valence electron, and in a period the elements will have same number of cells, electron cells. Okay, so this is all for today. Now please note down your homework. Your homework is to write down this table in your copy. Then you have to write down the definition of the periodic table. Then you will write down the comparison between the periods and the groups. Okay. Then you must also know the definition of the the full form of the IUPAC. So IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Then add one more question. What do you mean by group 18 or group 0? So what you will write? The group 18 elements or group 0 elements contains the inert gases with 0 combining capacity. And why they have 0 combining capacity? Because their octet is already filled. Okay. So in the next class we will be starting with the writing down of the molecular formula. Thank you everyone. Have a great day ahead.